So, hello, good morning to everyone. So today we again some like interview question of this computer science related question. Okay. So this is an important because we have to cover some basics before jumping to the computer fundamental question. So we have to know some like basic things. So like first thing came in our mind is what is an algorithm? Okay, okay. What we call algorithm. So we can explain this question by answering this one like an algorithm is a step by step set of instruction. Okay, so we can say this as a step by step set of instructions. Okay, and designed to perform some specific task to solve the problem. Okay, step by step set of instruction. Okay, and they designed to perform some specific task. Okay, and example in computer science algorithm are the foundation for the programming and the problem solving. So it is like basic for everything, and they define the logical sequence of action that computer program must follow. So it can be also explained as a logical logical sequence of action. Okay, so that computer program that follows to achieve some goal. Logical to achieve the goal, achieve the goal. Okay, so like I'm just explaining, don't mind for this spelling mistake, all this thing. Okay, so like they define like we can say that an algorithm is a step by step instruction which are designed to perform some specific task or like solve the problem. Okay, so in computer program like computer science algorithm are the foundation of all the programming and the problem solving. They define the logical sequence of the action that a computer program must follow to achieve some goals. The algorithm can be simple, like find the largest number in a list, to complex, sort the millions of records efficiently. And why this algorithm is more important? Why? It's why it is important. Why it is important? Important. Okay. So we can say that algorithm ensure the efficiency and correctness in the program. Okay, efficiency and the correctness in the program. They help to optimize the performance in the terms of speed and memory. Okay, so we can say that we like ensure the efficiency and correctness. Second thing is that help to optimize the performance. Optimize the performance. Okay, performance, that is speed and memory. And algorithm form the backbone for the technical interviews and testing problem and solving everything. So it is a backbone for the all the like technicalities that we needed. For example, a simple algorithm to find the largest number start with the first number is the largest, compare with the other number in that array, update the largest if the bigger number is found, return the largest at the end. Okay, so this is what we know at algorithm means. Okay, so move to the next question. What is data structure? So many are familiar with this question, but we have to explain what is data structure. So what is data structure? Okay. So second question is what is data structure? So by answering this question, we can say that Data structure is a way to organize and store the data in computers so that it can be used efficiently. Okay, the way data structure is the way of organizing the data, way of organizing organizing the data, so like organizing the data and storing the data. Okay, so in computer, so it can be efficiently used. So like explanation wise, we can say that data structure include that it include data structure, it include like array, okay, linked list, stack, okay, stack, queue, tree, graph, okay, and hash table. So each data structure is suited for the specific task. So each data structure have some specific tasks. So some specific tasks to perform, okay, and specific type of problem they solve. So and data structure determine the efficiency in the algorithm. We understand what is algorithm, but the efficiency comes from the choosing the correct data structure. So efficiency come with the efficiency come by choosing the best data structure. Okay, data structure, or we can say that, or we can say that, mm, like help to in a data retrieval, storage, and manipulation. So data structure help in the data retrieval, storage, and the manipulation thing. Okay, and they like like because it reflect the candidate that by understanding the better understanding on the data structure help to like help the user to like tell how then candidate have command on the basic technicalities of the computer science. For example, if you want to say that example of the data structure, we say that a stacked word. So stack word. So stack word. So okay, like stack works on a LIFO. So if we take an example that stack, as the name suggested, that the stack work on the LIFO like formula last in first out. If you undo the typing in a text area, this action is undo first. Okay. So just imagine if we like mistakenly like GS. So like lastly we write S, so we can firstly remove this one. So last in first out. Okay. Now next move to the next question, that is database. What is database? What? What is database? Okay. So like a database is an organized collection of data. Okay. Organized collection of data that can be stored, retrieved, and managed electronically. Okay. So like it is like organized way. You can say that it is the like organized way to store the data. Okay. So this is the organized way to store the data, and which can be used for the retrieval and storage and manage electronically. Okay. Explanation: database are the managed using and these database, and so these database are managed by like database management system. Okay, managed by a software that is like a DBMS, database management system. So these database management system that are example are like MySQL, okay, Oracle, or MongoDB. They allow the operation like inserting. So these database management system allow like many of the operation that are many operation like inserting, updating and query efficiently. And why it is important? Why it is important? Essential for the almost all modern applications, support secure, consistent, and efficient data handling. So interviewer expect the fresher to know the database basic as most of application depend on. For example, we are taking that e-commerce website. So we are we can say that like many of these firms, like many of this e-commerce website store the user detail, okay, user detail like product info, okay, product info and the transaction in database. So like MySQL and MongoDB. So like database is more important for like managing the all the data. The database is organized where to store the data for the retrieval, storage, and manage electronically. The management of the data is done by the DBMS. Then after all the like software that are we using like SQL, Oracle, MongoDB, where we can perform many of these things, inserting, updating, and deleting all the things. For example, we can see that e-commerce website where the users detail are there, product info are there, transaction details all stored in the database. These are the basic thing of database. Okay, let's move forward for the next question. That is related to the what is object oriented programming. So what is oops, okay, many times we explore this question. Okay, object oriented programming is a programming paradigm based on the concept of object, which can contain data and the methods. Okay, so we can say that object oriented programming is a paradigm, is a paradigm. Okay, so paradigm, okay, based on the concept, based on the concept, based on the concept of what object. Okay, based on the object. Okay, and the thing is that which can contain like field like data plus data and methods. Okay, so explanation that OOPS principle include encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. So why it needed? So make code reusable, modular, help in building the complex system in a structured manner, reuse code duplication through inheritance and polymorphism. Okay, so if we are taking the example in Java, a car class have the property of the color, model, and the method are that a drive, stop, brake. Multiple car can created by using same class. Okay, now move to the next question, that is what is operating system. So what is operating? Okay, so an operating system is a system software that manage like it is a system software. So operating system, we can say that it is a system software that manage the computer hardware and provided and provides the services for the application. So it manages the computer hardware and manage the computer, like manage the operating system is like a system software that manage the computer hardware and provide and provide services, provide the services, okay, provide some services for the application, okay. Explanation: operation, we can say that operating system act as a bridge between between the user and the hardware. So common type include like Windows. Common type are the Windows, Linux, Mac OS, okay, and the on Android, okay. So operating system is a system software and that manage the computer hardware and provide some like services to the application. So we can simply say that operating system act as a bridge between the user and the hardware. For example, we can say that Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and Android. So like why it is important? Because hello. So okay. Once again we are back. So where we are? So operating system, we understand operating system. Then why it is important? Why it is so important? So they ask in the interview question. So like operating system provide a resource management technique. So it provides some like a resource management, resource. It provides a resource management thing that the CPU, memory, and the storage thing. Okay, and also ensure the system security and multitasking. System security, system security, and the multitasking things. Okay, multitasking thing, and understand the OS to help pressure troubleshoot and optimize the performance. Okay, solve the troubleshooting. Okay, shooting and and optimize the program. So optimize the program. And when you open like multiple app in your phone, the OS handle the task scheduling so that app don't crash. So this is like use cases of the operating system. Next, move to the another question, that is what is computer network? Okay. So what is computer network? What is the network? So let me answer this question. So computer network is a collection of computer and device connected together to share the resource and information. Okay. As the name suggested that it is like collection of collection of computers. Okay. And devices connected to connected to each other to share the resources, okay, and the information. So okay, and like explanation, network can be classified on the basis of like LAN, MAN, WAN, based on their size, and on the basis of protocol like TCP, IP, HTTP, FTP. So like on the basis of size, it is like explained as the LAN, MAN, or WAN. Okay. On the basis of the protocols, if we say that, we can say that TCP slash IP, okay, HTTP, FTP, okay, which govern the communication. And why it is important? So it enables enable sharing of the files, application, and the internet access back for the communication in the modern business. Networking concept are common in the many interview questions. So the internet is the largest computer network connecting millions of devices worldwide. Okay. Whenever this question arises, we can answer in this way. Okay. Now another question is that what is software development cycle? Like software develop like software development cycle. Okay. We have to answer like software development. What is software development cycle? So like software development cycle is a process used to design, develop, test, and deploy the software. So it is a process. Process of what? Process of designing, developing, okay, testing, and deploying. Okay. The process of designing, developing, testing, and deploying software semantically. Example software development phase include software development cycle phase include requirement gathering, design, implementation, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. So maintenance. So like these are the like phases we can see in the software development. First requirement, what are needed, then design, then we implement, then test, then deploy, and then maintain. And why it is important, software development cycle is why it is important. So like it ensures the project success and quality, reduce the cost and development risk. Okay. So like we can say that agile, the software that is Agile. So that is a software development cycle involve iterative development where the feature delivered, where feature are delivered in this sprint. Okay, this is an example like Agile where the feature are delivered in a sprint. So whenever someone, whenever anybody asks the question related like software development life cycle, so you have to answer it like software development cycle is a process of designing, deployment, testing, and designing, development, and testing and deploying things. Okay. For explanation wise, we can say software development life cycle is a page which include requirement gathering, designing things, implementation part, testing things, and deployment thing, and then maintenance of that software. Okay, so it ensured that the success and the quality of the project. Okay, which reduce the cost and development risk. Okay, now like basic question is that what is compiler and interpreter? Okay, okay, so these are the basic question that are. So compiler convert the entire code into the machine language before its execution. So it acts as a bridge between the convert the entire code into the machine code. Okay. So converting the converting the entire into machine language before execution. So okay. An interpreter is like translate the code line a line during the execution, and this interpreter uh, like translate the code line by line. Okay. The compiled language are C++ run faster but take time to compile, where interpreter language are like Python, JavaScript. So like are slower but easier to debug. Okay. So it help to understand it, like why this is important, because it helped the fresher programmer to understand the language behavior of the programming things, useful in choosing the right language for the project. So C use as a compiler, Python use as an interpreter. Okay, let's move to the next question. So next question, that is what is cloud computing? Okay. Cloud computing. Okay. So we can say that cloud computing deliver the computing services, like it deliver the computing services like storage, server storage, and the database over the internet. Okay. Okay. So we can say that like cloud computing deliver the computing services, like computing services are that server, okay, storage, and database over the internet. So it for the explanation wise, I can say that it can offer a model like SaaS. It can offer the like services like SaaS, okay, PaaS, um, PaaS, okay, and ICE, okay. Cloud provider include a cloud provider like AWS, Azure, okay, and a Google Cloud, okay, cloud, okay. So why it is important? Because it reduce the infrastructure cost, enable the scalability and flexibility, highly relevant and the most company adopt the cloud-based system. Like Gmail is a cloud-based services that allow user to store the email and access them from anywhere. So whenever the question is that what is cloud computing, so we can say that cloud computing deliver the computing services like storage, server storage and database over the internet, and it offer the model like SaaS, PaaS and IaaS. Okay, so like cloud provider like and some cloud provider are the AWS, Azure and Google clouds, and it reduce the infrastructure cost and enable the scalability and flexibility and highly relevant for the most companies who adopt the cloud-based system. So Gmail is a cloud-based services that allow a user to store the email and the access them from the anywhere. Okay. The next question is that oh, sorry. The next question is that what is cyber security? Cyber security. Okay. So cyber security is a practice of protecting the system, network, and program from the digital attacks. So we can say that it is a kind of practice for protecting a system from attacks attacks. Okay, protecting the system, network, systems. Okay, systems, network, and program from the attack. Okay, so again, cyber security include encryption, because security which include like encryption. Okay, authentication, authentication, firewall. Okay, monitoring the system, monitoring the system. Okay, so attack include or the like this are the like cyber security which include encryption, authentication, firewall, and monitoring things. And one more thing, which is what are the attacks? Attacks are the phishings, malware, and DDoS. Okay, and why it is important, because to protect the sensitive data from the protect and hackers, ensure the system integrity and availability. Okay, so and this is a bank user use two-factor authentication to secure the online transaction. So cybersecurity, understanding of the cybersecurity is more important, because it is a kind of practicing the protecting against from the hacker, like system software, network program, all this thing, which include encryption, authentication, firewall, and monitoring things. And some of the attacks that are facing malware, DDoS, like honey traps, all this thing. And let's move to the next question. That is, what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? So difference between HTTP and HTTPS. Okay. So as the name suggested, that HTTP stands for the hypertext hypertext transfer protocol, and this stands for hypertext transfer protocol secure. So a transfer protocol for transferring data over the web. So it is like it's a protocol used for 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 transferring the data over internet or web. Okay, and it is a secure version of HTTP that use encryption, and HTTPS is the like we can say that it is a secure version, version of HTTP. Okay, which use the encryption tool like SSL or TLS. Okay. So HTTP allow the data transfer between the web browser and the server, but lack encryption, making it vulnerable to attack the data interpretation. Okay. But HTTP on other hand first encrypt and communication to secure the sensitive information like login credential or the payment detail. Why it is important? Like HTTPS build a trust for the website, especially for the e-commerce and the banking. Search engine like Google prefer HTTPS website in the SEO ranking. Okay, protect user from the middleman attack. Middleman in like man in middle attack. Okay, for example, we have some like website. So some website which is like look like some website which is look like this one. So HTTP double slash like we'll be taking some example.com. So this is not secure. In case like HTTP PS double slash. So this one is safer sideways, safe with the padlock icon in the browser. Okay. So this is the difference between and the like for the like if we say that what is the net number 80 stands for like protocol yet something ID is 80 and 443 for the HTTPS. Okay. So move to the next question. What is AI? What is artificial intelligence? What is AI? AI, okay. So artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence in the machine, enabling them to perform a task such as decision making, problem solving, and learning. So like it is a simulation of human intelligence, okay. It is a simulation of human intelligence in the machine. So enabling the yeah, so enabling it enable like perform some task like perform some task. Okay, decision making, decision making. Okay, decision making, problem solving. Okay, so we consider artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence which enable the problem perform some task, decision making, and the problem solving. Explanation wise, we can say that AI can be narrow. AI can be narrow, like AI specific tasks like chatbot, face recognition, general AI that is human-like intelligence still under the research. Technique include machine learning, deep learning, and NLP, like natural processing, natural language processing. And why it is important? Because AI power modern application like recommendation system, self-driven car, and the voice assistant. So understanding the AI basic help the refresher to align with this industry. The comparison refer candidate aware of the AI concept even if they are not like narrow AI. We are if we are talking about two type of AI, which is narrow and the AI in the business. So narrow AI, which are like Alexa and Siri, whereas the AI which are used in the business that are like Netflix recommending like some movies. Okay. So okay, we stop here, and in the next session we complete the further question.